Hello, everybody. This is a kind of a random stream tonight. I don't stream a lot, and when I do, it's because I feel like it. And, you know, do what makes you happy. Do what you feel like doing. Seems like a plan. Anyway, I want to kind of explore some Foundation files, as I have in some previous live streams. I'm not a researcher or a doctor. I'm I guess, novice onlooker with, of course, permission to look at the Foundation files, as you will clearly or surely be detained if you don't have such permissions. So, um, I am kind of a noob exploring this vast land, and it's fascinating and interesting, and all these nifty, wonderful things. So, um, I'm just going to jump in there and explore some numbers. Some of my people have given me a few numbers, and I don't really know what to expect. Some of them are just strange or silly. Uh, some of them are considered cute, if that's a thing. Some of them are absolutely terrifying, and we shall see what we shall see. So, with that being said, I'm going to go to the first SPC, Secure, Contain, Protect. I just said SPC, and it's actually SCP. I guess it doesn't count if I catch myself in the mistake and actually say it, so I'm good. I'm good. Anyway, 2840 I have written down. Well, hello, Mario Sonic. I'm about to delve into the realm of creepy and a little strange this evening, because that's the kind of guy I am, frankly. And let's see what we got here. 2840 was suggested to me from somebody who actually works for the Foundation. So I'm not going to confirm or deny that these creatures or entities are real or fake. I'm just going to say that they are very interesting. Very interesting. Before I do that, 2840. Let's see if we can get a visual on 2840. 2840. Let's see what we're actually looking at. This is not helping. I don't know. Hey, Dan, how you doing? It's nice of you to stop by. Nice of you to stop by. Let's look at SCP-2840. SCP-2840 is contained within 3 non-violent D-class hosts. Oh dear. Housed in a humanoid containment suite within Satellite Building C at Site-66. These 3 hosts must follow a sleep schedule as outlined by Dr. Bridge and are permitted entertainment material as requested. Personnel found asleep within 100 meters of SCP-2840's current host will be demoted. Oh dear, so this SCP apparently is capable of possession. And apparently 3 people at a time. Whoa. Okay, description. SCP-2840 is a incorporeal, which means time is irrelevant, I believe, psychic entity. Okay, so time doesn't matter, and it can read thoughts, and okay. That exists within the minds of humans experiencing REM sleep. Okay, SCP-2840 resides within one human subject at a time and appears dormant when the subject is conscious. It is capable of transferring itself between hosts that enter REM sleep within 100 meters from one another. It is not currently possible to track movements of SCP-2840 between subjects outside of self-reports. While host to SCP-2840, individuals will remember that their dreams each night, though imperfectly and forgetting minor details. Huh. Oh, that's okay, Mario. I didn't even notice. I've been doing stuff all day, and now I'm reading about this SCP that apparently possesses people. This is weird, man. This is weird. SCP gravitates towards individuals that have a history of chronic nightmares and night terrors. Oh, well, that's fun. Subjects suffering from recurring nightmares will find themselves unable to experience a recurring dream again after occupation. Oh, okay. So I guess it has a benefit of taking people over. Hosts experience a change in their nightly dream cycles after acquiring SCP-2840. After this period, their night terrors will be interrupted by a dramatic shift in scenario. Details vary, but their interactions always end in the neutralization of the nightmares and its replacement by SCP-2840. Okay, well, that's interesting. SCP-2840 will manifest mid-scenario, violently interrupting the dream and then changing it to a different scenario. For example, a subject dreaming of being chased found that the pursuer was attacking and consumed by a figureless creature, and then found themselves trapped within a dark forest with a figure pursuing at a relaxed pace. Another subject with terrors of drowning experienced a sudden explosion of bubbles from below, which led to a dream of falling in a clear void. Okay. So basically, SCP-2840, from what I gather, is a psychic creature that inhabits people while they're dreaming, and if you have nightmares, it will, like, change them. Oh. While asleep, hosts realize and understand that they are dreaming, but also an understanding they are entirely safe. Each host recognizes that the entity or scenario, such as a featureless figure or the void, should cause fear or anxiety, but instead instills a sense of safety and relaxation. Upon waking, hosts recognize that SCP-2840, in whatever form it took during the dream, was aware of their existence, and that it removed the perceived threat from their nightmare. You know, you gotta hand it to people's creativity for coming up with this stuff. I mean, seriously, that's pretty neat. Okay, one last snippet, and then we'll move on to the next one. I guess you can't have a picture of this because it doesn't, I guess it's like a mist or a spirit or something. SCP-2840 was discovered in a psychiatric hospital in Redacted. Over a 4-month period, 29 patients reported similar dreams, now understood to be SCP-2840's primary symptoms. An embedded agent following an instance of SCP noticed a trend among unrelated patients and initiated an investigation into the phenomena. The then current host of SCP-2840 was determined and extracted for containment and remains part of the containment procedure as of D-2840/B. Well, that's interesting. It's kind of a little backstory on how they captured it. I don't know if this one is all that creepy. It kind of helps people have better dreams, but I mean, who wants to be possessed by an entity, you know? That's just kind of weird, man. That's weird. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next one. 2984. 2984. I have no idea what this is. Like I said, somebody suggested a few of these to me. I'm going to cross out the one I just did. Okay. Before we go there, let's see what it looks like. 984. The Google will tell us. Okay. The first thing that comes up is a lovely looking house. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Enough of that then. I actually remember this one. I've read this one before, and it amused me. Okay, subject is contained in a fireproof animal chamber modified for ventilation in the Site 115 Annex. Smoke generated by SCP-2984 is filtered and released via a chimney included in Site 115 Annex's guise as a water treatment facility. Subject is to be fed fruits, nuts, and vegetables delivered via an automated delivery system. Food is to be kept soaked in water and placed in specifically designed carbon fiber containers. Subject will return containers to delivery system when finished. Physical interaction between SCP-2984 and resident primatologist Drs. Aslam and Gupta are to be monitored with security and rescue personnel on standby in the event the subject damages either individuals' fire proximity suits or if they are in any other way incapacitated due to extreme heat or dehydration. These interactions are subject to termination at any moment. All decor and material that has sustained significant fire damage is to be replaced at the end of each day. So, basically, you know how it's being contained, and you know what it looks like. It's a monkey. It is, in fact, a flaming monkey. Oh, goodness, you can't make this stuff up. Actually, somebody did and wrote it down, and it's an SCP. It's a flaming monkey. SCP-2984 is a female Bornean orangutan entirely consumed in fire. Yes, that is what this SCP is. Despite this, SCP-2984 is apparently alive and healthy and shows no sign of damage or ill health as a result of burns or smoke inhalation. The fire engulfing the subject can be spread and can be extinguished normally, although the subject will instantaneously reignite unless fully submerged in water. Okay. Sure, why not? It's a flaming monkey you have to keep underwater. Well, of course. And why not? Why not? You just light up a cigarette. Speaking of flaming monkey. Wow. Let's look at the backstory here. SCP-2984 was discovered following a fire near Retracted, Malaysia. Locals described witnessing the subject apparently attempting to escape the fire. While they made attempts to extinguish the subject became agitated, began to roam aimlessly through the village, leaving behind embers and soot, later determined to be fecal droppings and hair follicles, before being frightened off by the villagers. Continued sightings by fire and rescue personnel led the Foundation to track and contain the subject. While in custody, personnel in fire proximity suits attempted to calm the subjects with offerings of figs. I like strawberry. You have mentioned that before. The subject relaxed and examined the food from a distance before consuming all the figs at once. Primatologist Dr. Gupta was present to oversee transport of SCP-2984 in a flame-resistant container partially filled with water. 5 personnel sustained minor injury, including minor burns and abrasions, in the attempt to escort the subject into the container. It's a flaming monkey! Literally. Okay, subject behavior is non-anomalous, though it had adopted certain behaviors and routines, apparently learned to avoid damaging its food or surroundings. The subject's senses appear unaffected by the fire or smoke. This is a flaming orangutan. Because why not? See, this is why the Foundation is important, because when anomalies like this, this could wreak havoc, if it's left to its own devices, and this poor creature doesn't even realize, you know, it just thinks, hey, I'm a flaming monkey. There aren't all monkeys flaming? I mean, what's wrong with walking through town without, you know? I kind of like this one. I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but I do kind of like this one. Let's go. Somebody suggested, let's see, 2911. I like the flaming monkey. That one was fun. Let's see if the Google can give me a image. Oh, I did this backwards. No wonder the images aren't working. Silly llama. I tell you, just not on my game. Well, according to this graphic, it's an alicorn. Not that I know what an alicorn is, because I'm totally not, you know, one of those type of people. But you know, we all know Derpy is the best. But you know, that's just what I'm saying. You know, just saying. 2911. Object class safe. Okay, that's good. Special containment procedures. Public knowledge of SCP-2911 is limited to residents of its village. Due to its remote location, SCP-2911 is regarded merely as a regional folklore by residents of northeastern Iwate Prefecture. Low-intensity media suppression protocols are therefore the only necessary containment at this time. Okay. SCP-2911 is a fisherman known only as Miko to the residents of Tonohata Village, located in Iwate Prefecture, Japan. SCP-2911 is a male of Japanese ancestry, approximately 62 years old. SCP-2911 has inane and accurate knowledge of future time of death of residents in the village in an approximate 15-kilometer radius from his dwelling. SCP-2911 appears to gain this knowledge spontaneously. However, it is only obtained approximately 1 week prior to each resident's death. Okay, so this is a guy, this is an old guy in Japan, in the middle of nowhere, who gets premonitions of people dying a couple weeks before they happen. Okay, I'm over here reading the chat. Really pissed, playing Mario Kart with friends. You'll get back in your game, buddy. Don't worry about it. You're doing good. I've enjoyed your streams and listening to the Master Llama. Okay, well, SCP-2911, like I said, appears to be an old guy out in the middle of nowhere that has knowledge of future events. Okay, interview notes by Dr. Kani Tordraki concerning the subject. How long has it been? Since I was a boy with my grandfather. How do you know? I was born knowing, and then I remember each time. Is it a burden? Are people a burden? For some, this is so. I am not so. The doctor says, what do they do? The farmer, I come to them and offer my company for a day. They always accept. Doctor says, are they afraid? Farmer, before, sometimes, after a day, never. Is it a hard life for you? My possessions are few, but I am surrounded by beauty. My friends all die, but they are true. I am at peace. Why is it you? I cannot know. Perhaps I am dreaming. Is life a dream? I believe it is sometimes. Other times I believe dreams are real. I think you might too. Do you know it for yourself? We all remember eventually. So it was a conversation between this feller, this fisherman, and the doctor. The residence of SCP-2911 is sparse and aesthetic in nature. The only ornamentation, a series of poems hanging on the walls written by residents of Tanahata at some point after SCP-2911 informs them of their pending demise. Oh, okay. So these are small poems written by people that this guy has told are going to die in 2 weeks. One half I am now, briefly I am whole again, soon, whole forever I rest. The waves, they bring salt, fury, love, tranquility. Waves wash over me, cool, quiet. That's so freaking serene, man. I'm sorry, I just totally screwed up the mojo. I was so strong. Ha! We went fishing, as always. The fight done, the boat sways. Night. They say home is far, the sea is my land, my liege. I found my peace at last. That would be kind of weird having this guy come up to you and be like, this is somebody in town you just don't want to talk to because he's going to say, hey, by the way, in 2 weeks you're, well, I can't understand. The sun was radiant, bright. I shall enjoy this tea now. My duty is gone, free. The cries have now quieted. Brotherhood of all, I join you. This one was a little longer. My silly old man, you knew you always had me, my dearest old man. Make love with me in this wind. The birds sing the song of friends and lovers, old hearts, echoes in the sky, dreams of where water meets earth. Past death, past time, we shall sleep. Well, this one isn't terrifying, but it's just strange. You have an old fella with a gift. I don't know if it's an unfortunate gift. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. Okay, now we're going to go with 3213. Should be interesting. Let's look this up here. See what it looks like. Because I like to guess before I read them sometimes, you know. It's a seal. Okay. Okay. That would be a seal. Well, how random is this? Okay, well, let's just take a look at this then. A bunch of tests and things were done on it. Now I'm curious. Okay. Special containment procedures. SCP-3213 is to be contained in a standard humanoid containment cell on floor 20 of Site 88. Under no circumstances is SCP-3213 to be allowed unsupervised interaction with any member of any pinniped species. Okay, pinniped families include, but are not limited to, walruses, seals, and sea lions. Testing of SCP-3213's effects is to take place in the aquatic facilities on floor 21 of Site 88. Okay. This is kind of weird. Okay, let's dive into this here. Description: SCP-3213 is a 44-year-old human male named Karin Prosser. When SCP-3213 is in direct line of sight with any member of any pinniped species, the animal will become sentient and capable of vocalizations. Are you kidding me? The guy speaks to walruses. Because why not? Okay, SCP-3213 affected animals will then utilize this capability to directly verbal abuse towards SCP-3213. Okay, so he can speak to walruses and they swear at him. How unfortunate. I mean, you think, okay, horse whisperer, dog whisperer, okay, well, they have something cool to say. Maybe you can understand them. They can understand you. Well, apparently, it doesn't go over that well with this guy. Affective animals appear to possess individual personalities and behaviors, though all share a common dislike of SCP-3213. Affected animals do not comprehend, nor do they care to respond to any verbal requests from individuals who are not SCP-3213. Repeated interactions between SCP-3213 and affected animals has yielded no verifiable information regarding the cause of the anomaly. When in the presence of pinnipeds, SCP-3213 is under constant danger of physical attack. They hate their whisperer. Who comes up with this stuff? Affected animals will attempt to inflict as much physical pain as possible on SCP-3213. Although multiple tests in control settings have revealed that these attacks will cease if SCP-3213's life is in danger. All attacking animals will continue direct verbal abuse towards SCP-3213 until removed from SCP's presence. What a bummer. I mean, some people, I want to be the cat whisperer. I want to be, and can you imagine having this power, being able to talk to a certain type of animal, and that animal just hates you, I mean, just like, how dare you talk to me? I'm going to get you. Oh, that's just hilarious. Okay. SCP-3213 affected animals do not appear to retain their sentience or ability to vocalize once out of the direct line of sight of SCP-3213. Examination of live actively affected specimens has been unsuccessful due to their aggression. SCP-3213 has, however, been cooperative in continued testings of the anomaly. How do you... Okay. Test number 3. Visual demonstration of described anomaly. Date 10/30/17. Method: SCP-3213 was given a video camera and told to enter a room with a tank housing 2 adult earless seals. Results: a video file demonstrating the anomaly was created. It can be viewed by clicking here. Oh dear, what am I getting myself into? There's a video file.
Go to hell, Carl.
The seal just said, "Go to hell, Carl." You've got to be kidding me.
Seriously. Walk away, Carl.
Seriously, walk away, Carl. Oh, that's hilarious. That's... Wow. Okay. The relatively docile nature of the interaction is believed to have been an attempt to make SCP-3213 feel safe. 2 separate attempts were made to physically drag SCP-3213 into the water 6 seconds after the end of this video excerpt. Okay. Test number 5. Attempts by Dr. Paul Clifford to communicate with affected animals while SCP-3213 was present. Date 11/8/17. Method: SCP-3213 directed to enter a room with a tank housing 2 earless seals. Dr. Clifford was already present. Information log. Seal 1. Go fuck yourself, Carl. Seal 2. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Long and hard, you fucking bastard. These seals really hate him. Dr. Clifford. Excuse me, can you understand me? Seal 2. Carl, how's it feel to know that even though you're going bald, you'll never get any uglier? Dr. Clifford. Can you hear me? Seal 1. What's the matter, Carl? Too much of a pussy to answer us? Wow, these seals really do not like this guy. Unbelievable. Test 16 attempts to glean more of the reason for the anomaly's existence. Date 1/24/18. Hey, it's J Metal. I am this SCP that I'm looking at right now, 3213, is apparently a guy who can communicate and speak to walruses. And unfortunately for the guy, the walruses seem to hate him with a passion. And it's kind of like a reverse dog whisperer when the dogs, figure out that you can understand them. Well, they attack you. Well, this guy seems to have a problem with seals. And it's ridiculous, and I'm loving it. Okay. Test 16 attempts to glean more of the reasons for the anomaly's existence. Date 1/24/18. I know, right? SCP-3213, that's the seal whisperer, directed to enter a room with a tank housing 2 earless seals and to inquire as to the reason behind the anomalous behavior. Seal 1, should have figured you'd come back. Bet you like the taste of shit. See, here's the seals immediately starting with a verbal abuse. And here's the guy. What did I do to make you so mad at me? Seal 2. Oh, this piece of shit wants to know what he did. Seal 1. You fucking know what you did, Carl. SCP-3213. I never know what you're fucking talking about. Seal 2. You're a fucking asshole. We fucking remember because we saw you do that shit, Carl. Seal 1. You got all these people fooled. You thought just because it was dark and raining on the beach that night, no one was going to see what you did. SCP-3213. Jesus fucking Christ. Seal 2. Man, these are some seriously vindictive seals. I just seriously Google SCP-3213 and there's a seal, man. And there's okay. Following this interaction, SCP-3213 refused to elaborate on the incident described by the affected animals. It is also unknown why all members of pinniped species are now aware of this triggering incident. Investigation into SCP-3213's past has turned out nothing matching the description's details. SCP-3213 testing is currently suspended, and daily interviews are scheduled to determine what events caused this anomaly. I mean, how do you... it would be cool to be a dog whisperer, but I just don't want to be attacked or verbally abused if I had that skill. You usually think it's something positive or something cool, and yeah, I can talk to seals, and then they just hate you, and they cuss you, and they attack you, and it's like, really? Anyway, I was given another number, so I'm going to look at this. We're going to go see if there's a picture of it first. SCP-999. Looks like a cute blob of goo. Yeah, okay. Just to give you guys a visual of what we're looking at, I wonder what llamas are thinking. Probably the same thing. Llamas are, I don't want to say temperamental, but, they'll spit at you. They don't care. They're not particularly aggressive. I mean, if you've ever been rammed by a llama, it's just like being smacked in the face by a pillow. Especially if they haven't been sheared in a while. Being attacked by a llama is like getting rammed by fluff. The effect is just, poor llama gets laughed at. Okay. Oh no, it's a giant pillow. Ka-thunk. Mountain Dew. All right. We're reading about this blob. Special containment procedures for this blob. SCP-999 is allowed to freely roam the facility should it desire to. Well, that doesn't happen much. But otherwise must stay in its pen. Subject is not allowed out of its pen at night or off facility grounds at any time. Pen is to be kept clean. Food replaced twice daily. All personnel are allowed inside SCP-999's holding area, but only if they are not assigned to other tasks at the time, or if they're on break. Subject is to be played with when bored and spoken to in a calm, non-threatening tone. Hello, I am calm and non-threatening. I wonder why. Take another visual of this thing. It's kind of cute in a way, sort of. Description: SCP-999 appears to be a large, amorphous gelatinous mass of translucent orange slime, weighing about 54 kilograms, with a consistency similar to that of peanut butter. Seriously, who comes up with this stuff? Okay. Subject size and shape constantly change, though most of the time its form is the size of a large beanbag chair. Composition of SCP-999 is oil-based, but consists of a substance unknown to modern science. Other than a thin, transparent membrane surrounding the orange mass, subject appears to have no organs to speak of. Okay. Subject's temperament is best described as playful and dog-like. When approached, SCP-999 will react with overwhelming elation, slithering over to the nearest person and leaping upon them, quote-unquote, hugging them with a pair of pseudopods while nuzzling the person's face with a third pseudopod, all the while emitting high-pitched gurgling and cooing noises. Okay. The surface of SCP-999 emits a pleasing odor that differs with whomever it is interacting with. Recorded scents include chocolate, fresh laundry, bacon, roses, and Play-Doh. Wow. Hey, Crimson. SCP-999. Tonight we are learning about a gelatinous blob. And I'm glad you could make it. Okay. Where was I? I was laughing and choking on myself because this is ridiculous. Okay. Simply touching SCP or hurt in any way. A person suffering from crippling depression after interaction with SCP-999 have returned completely cured with a very positive outlook on life. The possibility of marketing SCP-999's slime as an antidepressant has been discussed. Oh goodness! Hey, Crimson, I'm doing okay. I'm just wow. You want to talk about more creative than, like, the Star Trek aliens and the Doctor Who aliens, and then you read the SCP files and it's like everything is just up a notch. In addition to its playful behavior, SCP-999 seems to love all animals, especially humans, refusing to eat any meat, and even risking its own life to save others, even leaping in front of a person to take a bullet fired at them. Subject's intellect is still up for debate. Though its behavior is infantile, it seems to understand human speech and most modern technology, including guns. The creature's diet consists entirely of candy and sweets, with M&Ms and Necco wafers. You gotta love those wafers. Being its favorite. Its eating methods are similar to those of an amoeba. Following is a report from an experiment in which SCP-682 is exposed to SCP-999 in the hopes that it will cure the creature's omnicidal rate. Okay, let's look at 862. They tried to cure 862 by showing it to 999. So let's look and see what the, oh dear. Okay. Oh, that's right. I've heard about this one. This 682 is the giant crocodile thing that kills everything that it, yeah, you don't want to mess with that guy. Okay, so they exposed a crazy creature to this thing to try to see if it calms down a little bit. Okay, got it. Addendum. The following is a report from an experiment in which, okay, we just read that, hopes that it will cure the creature's omnicidal rage. Okay. And we just looked at the creature, and it's terrifying. So, okay. SCP-999 is released into SCP-682's containment area. SCP-999 immediately slithers towards SCP-682. 999 elated gurgles. 682 unintelligible groans, growling. What is that? SCP-999 moves in front of SCP-682, jumping up and down in a dog-like manner while calling out in a high-pitched squealing noise. 682 groans. Disgusting. SCP-682 immediately steps on SCP-999, completely flattening SCP-999. Observers were about to abort the experiment when SCP-682 started talking again. 682 grunts. What is this? Low noise similar to a light chuckle. I feel all tingly inside. SCP-999 can be seen crawling up from between SCP-682's toes, up along its side and around its neck, where it clings on and begins gently nuzzling with its pseudopod. A wide grin slowly spreads across SCP-682's face. Deep chuckling. I feel so happy, 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 happy. This is so ridiculous. It's great. SCP-682 repeats the word happy for several minutes, laughing occasionally before escalating into non-stop laughter. As laughter continues, SCP-682 rolls around on its back, slamming its tail upon the floor with dangerous force. Stop, no tickling, and he's just laughing hysterically. Okay, SCP-682 and SCP-999 continue the quote-unquote tickle fight until... I hope I can finish this, but this is so ridiculous. It's great. Okay. Until SCP-682 finally wears down and appears to fall asleep, with what would appear to be a smile on his face. After 15 minutes with no activity, 2 D-Class personnel enter the room to retrieve SCP-999. When SCP-999 is removed, SCP-682 immediately wakes up and unleashes an undefinable wave of energy from its body, all the while laughing maniacally. All persons within the wave's range collapse in crippling fits of laughter, allowing SCP-682 to escape and slaughter all in its path. Oh no! Meanwhile, SCP-999 quickly rescues as many persons as it can, taking them to a safe place to recover from SCP-682's laughter wave, while agents suppress and contain SCP-682. Despite the tragedy that SCP-682 had brought upon the facility, SCP-999 has not shown any fear towards the creature, and in fact has made gestures suggesting it wants to quote-unquote play with SCP-682 again. SCP-682, however, has stated that feculent little snotwad can data expunged and die. Oh dear. Okay. Memo from Dr. Retracted. While the test was unsuccessful and ended in tragedy, that had to be the funniest thing I've ever seen. Never thought I'd see the day I would regard SCP-682 as cute. Please send me a copy of the security tapes ASAP. Okay, so that's that's the creature. So we have this adorable blob, and this is the terrifying creature that it was trying to calm down, and that backfired immensely. So, okay, that was interesting. Oh dear, I should probably do that one next. No, I think I already did that one once. I don't remember. Oh goodness. Okay. Oh my. We're gonna do something. Somebody told me that this one was terrifying, so we're gonna go look at it. 096, even more terrifying than the thing that we just saw. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. 096. Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. I'd say that's terrifying. That's pretty terrifying. Oh my. Seriously, who comes up with this stuff? That's pretty terrifying. Okay. Let's dive in here, shall we? Okay. Actually, it looks pretty short. Yeah, it's not a long one at all. Okay. We have a basic idea of what it looks like because we just went to the Google. Hold on for just a second while I light a cigarette, because heaven knows reading isn't hard enough. I need to be smoking a cigarette while I'm doing it, you know. Let's take a look and see what exactly this thing is, because it does look terrifying. It looks like kind of the Slender Man, you know, kind of thing. I don't know how much longer my throat's going to last, but I think we can get through this one. Ah. All right. Here we go. SCP-069 is to be contained in its cell, a 5 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter airtight steel cube at all times. Weekly checks for any cracks or holes are mandatory. There are to be absolutely no video surveillance or optical tools of any time inside SCP-096's cell. Security personnel will be pre-installed pressure sensors and laser detectors to ensure SCP-096's presence is inside the cell. Huh. So you're going to be in an airtight steel cube. So this thing is dangerous. Any and all photos, yay! Videos or recordings of SCP-096's likeness are strictly forbidden without approval from Dr. Retracted. All right. Slenderman's brother. Yeah, perhaps. SCP-096 is a humanoid creature measuring approximately 2.38 meters in height. Subject shows very little muscle mass, with preliminary analysis of body mass suggesting mild malnutrition. Arms are grossly out of proportion with the rest of the subject's body, with approximate length of 1.5 meters. Skin is mostly devoid of pigmentation, with no sign of any body hair. So basically, it's a nightmare creature. Yes. Oh no. SCP-096's jaw can open 4 times the normal of an average human. Other facial features, you can tell I'm smoking, other facial features remain similar to an average human, with the exception of the eyes, which are also devoid of pigmentation. It is not yet known whether SCP-096 is blind or not. It shows no sign of any higher brain functions and is not considered to be sentient. Or sapient. Sentient. It's the same word. I don't know. Anyway, SCP-096. Oh, Yes, I know. Important action is needed. Just go away. That Hewlett Packard is always telling me that. Okay. So it's tall, skinny, long arms, and can open its mouth really, really big. Yeah, it's a nightmare. SCP-096 is normally extremely docile, with pressure senses inside its cell indicating it spends most of its day facing by the eastern wall. However, when somebody views SCP-096 face, whether it be directly via video recording or even photograph, it will enter a stage of considerable emotional distress. SCP-096 will cover its face with its hands and begin screaming, crying, and babbling incoherently. Approximately 1 or 2 minutes after the first viewing, SCP-096 will begin running to the person who viewed his face, who will at this point be referred to as SCP-96-1. Okay. So what do you do to people? Documented speeds have varied from 35 kilometers an hour to retracted kilometers an hour. Seems to depend on distance from SCP-96-1. At this point, no known material or method can impede SCP-096's progress. The actual position of SCP-096 does not seem to affect SCP-096's response. It seems to have an innate sense of SCP-096-1's location. Now, 1 is the person who unfortunately looked at it, which is something you don't want to do. This reaction does not occur when viewing artistic depictions. Okay, so you can do an artist depiction of it. You just can't take a picture of it or have it be on film, because if you see its face, it will find you and something unfortunate will happen. Okay. Upon arriving at SCP-096-1's location, SCP-096 will proceed to kill and, data expunged, SCP-096-1. 100% of cases have left no traces of SCP-096-1. The 1 again denotes its victim. SCP-096 will then sit down for several minutes before regaining its composure and becoming docile once again. It will then attempt to make its way back into its natural habitat, which is, of course, data retracted. Due to the possibility of mass chain reaction, including a breach of Foundation security and a large civilian loss of life, retrieval of subjects should be considered alpha priority. Dr. Retracted also petitioned for the immediate termination of SCP-096. Order is awaiting approval. Termination order has been approved and is to be carried out by Dr. Retracted on data retracted. Okay, so they want to take this thing out, which is interesting. Okay, I haven't read an SCP file where they wanted to take it. Well, there was that giant lizard that can't die. There was that one too. They wanted to kill that, but that's a different SCP. Audio log from interview 0961, which 0961 is the victim. Interviewer, Dr. Retracted. Interviewed, Captain Retired Retracted, former commander of retrieval team, Zulu 9A, retrieval incident, number 096-1A. Okay. Lots of retracted time, research area, captain, which turns out to be the guy's victim. It always sucks ass to get initial retrieval duty. You have no idea what the damn thing is capable of, besides what jacked up information the field teachees can scrape up. You're lucky if they even tell you the whole story. They just told us bag and tag. Don't let us jack shit about nothing looking at the damn thing. Okay, so he just knows, okay, bag and tag. He didn't know he wasn't supposed to look at it. And, well, that didn't end well for him. Dr. Retracted, of course. Could you describe the mission, please? And the captain, yeah, sorry, we had 2 choppers. One with my team and one on backup with Zulu 9B. Doctor retracted. We spotted the target about 2 clicks north of our patrol path. I'm guessing it wasn't facing in our direction. He would have taken us out then and there. That's true. Doctor, your report says SCP-096 didn't react to the cold. It was temperature retracted, of course. Captain, actually it was negative, and then there's no number. And yes, but it was butt naked. It didn't do so much as shiver. Anyway, we landed and approached the target, and Corporal Blank got ready to bag it, and then Dr. Retracted called. I turned to answer it, and that's what saved me. The target must have turned, and my whole squad saw it. That's when SCP-096 entered an agitated, emotional state. Yep. Interview now paused for a second before continuing. Sorry, got the willies for a second. Doctor, that's all right. Captain, yeah. Well, I never saw its face. My squad did, and they paid up for it in the ass. Yeah, I can imagine. Could you describe it a little more, please? Captain. Yeah, it started screaming at us and crying. Not animal roaring, though. It sounded exactly like a person. Really fucking creepy. Pauses again. We started firing when it picked up Corporal Blank and ripped his leg off. God, he was screaming for help. Fucking A. Anyway, we were blowing chunks out of the target round after round. Didn't do jack shit. I almost lost it when it started. Data expunged him. That's when you ordered the use of an papers and heard moving a AT-4 HEDT launcher, anti-tank gun. Started carrying it ever since SCP Blank got loose. I've seen those things tear through tanks like tissue paper. Did the same thing to the target. Doctor, there was a significant damage to SCP-096? Captain, it didn't even fucking flinch. I kept tearing apart my squad. Half of his torso gone. He draws a large half circle across his torso. But was it taking damage? Captain, if it was, it wasn't showing it. It must have lost all of its organs and its blood, but it didn't acknowledge any of it. Its bone structure wasn't hurt at all, though. It kept tearing my squad apart. Oh dear. Doctor, so no actual structural damage. How many rounds did you say you fired at SCP-096? Captain, at the least 1,000. Our door gunner kept his GAU-19 on it for at least 20 seconds. 20 fucking seconds. That's 650 caliber rounds pumped into that thing. May as well have been spitting at it. Jeez. Well, at least they caught it. Doctor, was this when Zulu B9 arrived? Captain. Yes, my squad was gone. Zulu 9B managed to get the bag over his head, and it just sat down. We got into the chopper and got here. I don't know how I never saw its face. Maybe God or Buddha or whatever I thought should live, the jackasses. We have obtained an artist's description of SCP-096 face. Would you like to view it? Captain. You know, after hearing that thing screams and the screams of my men, I don't think I want to put a face to what I heard. Just no. Detained? Why, yes, Granny. These are SCP Foundation files, and they are classified. Sort of. Doctor, all right, I believe we're done here. Thank you, Captain. Chairs are heard moving. The footsteps leave the room. Doctor, let this be on record. I'm formally requesting SCP-096 be terminated as soon as possible. End log. So, that is the rundown of this terrifying creature and how they caught it. Ew. All right. Well, that was terrifying. Let's move on to something else. Somebody gave me another number, and I haven't looked it up first, so I have no idea what this is. So we're going to look up SCP-231. And I want to get a get an idea of what we're getting into by looking it up on the Googles first, because Google knows stuff, man. Okay. Oh, well, that doesn't look encouraging at all. What the heck? Okay, so you look up an SCP number and you have visions of terror. Oh no. Okay. Oh my, names, so if we're detained, you know who to go get. Yeah, I know, right, Granny? Yes. Whew, goodness. I don't know if I have the voice to do all of this, but we're gonna definitely get the gist of what's going on here. SCP-231 does appear to be terrifying. So, site and personal requirements. Under special order of 05 retracted, the following addendum is attached to the beginning of the file for SCP-231. All personnel assigned to SCP-231 must rotate out for 1 month of psychological counseling after 2 months on site. SCP-231 is to be kept in an undisclosed location. All personnel assigned to SCP-231 will be transported there blindfolded from Site 19 by route, including no fewer than 7 different forms of transportation, including but not limited to aircraft, automobile, underground tunnel, and retracted. Removal of the blindfold during the transport progress is as ground for immediate termination. Holy crap. So this thing is hidden somewhere. They don't want nobody knowing where it is. Well, that's terrifying. Okay. No, that's not terrifying at all. That's perfectly, totally normal. And this is SCP-231-7, which means it has manifested itself 7 times, which is also terrifying. Personnel assigned to SCP-231 must undergo heavy psychological testing before being cleared to enter the site. Individuals must score at least 72 points on the Milgram Obedience examination, be unmarried, have no offspring, and express nothing less than total loyalty to the Foundation. Normal psychological screening procedures against Axis 2 disorders are waived, so long as Class D personnel in question has the mental capacity to carry out Procedure 110 Montauk as needed. Procedure 110 Montauk is I'm just gonna let you look that up yourself, because it's terrifying. Class D personnel, incidentally, the best way to describe them is, you know how Star Trek, the old Star Trek, has the red shirts? You know, they're kind of expendable, and they tend to get in the way of the important people so that, you know, important people don't get taken out. Well, that's what D-class personnel are in the Foundation. They are they're red shirts. So so if you have a lot of them guarding a certain thing, you know that that thing will probably escape from time to time and probably take some people out. And yeah, as long as nobody's important, then it's okay. Which is terrifying in and of itself. Okay. Personnel who express sympathy towards SCP-231's plight and or express a desire to rescue or sympathize towards SCP-231 will be transferred to another project without delay. Any actual rescue attempts will be met with immediate termination. Personnel who have served on the staff of SCP-231's containment team are not required to divulge that information to others. No official record shall be kept of the names of any staff assigned to SCP-231, nor will said service appear in the personnel files. Ooh. While on site, individuals assigned to SCP-231 will be issued concealing helmets with no integrated voice changes to protect their identity. On-site staff are not to remove said uniforms in the presence of other staff members, so they don't even know who each other are, much less So they're going through a lot of steps here. Let's go to special containment procedures, because that should be interesting right there. It's a staph infection. I mean, you go to this length to make sure your staff doesn't know each other or where they are. You know this this creature, and I think I've read this one before, so I think I actually know what's going on here, and it's kind of terrifying, but we'll get to that in a moment. I'm going to light up a cigarette and drink some Mountain Dew. Oh goodness, we're like knee deep into this beast right now, and it hasn't even gone to the description yet. Well, the description is down there. You can probably see the description on your screen. I'm going to read the special containment procedures. I do like it when something makes you laugh. Well, that was terrifying. Well, you should have been here earlier, Granny. There was a couple ones that had me rolling. Some of the stuff is wacky. This is some of these creatures. I mean, they're so creative the way they're described and things like that. It puts like the Star Trek and Doctor Who genres to shame. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Special containment procedures. Let's dive in here. Following repeated, let me do that. Gives me a better idea of where I'm at. Following repeated escape and suicide attempts, and based on the failure of containment for SCP-231 through 6, containment of SCP-231-7 has been amended to the following. SCP-231 is to be contained within a soundproof holding cell adjacent to holding cells for 6 Class D personnel, the red shirts, assigned for the purposes of Procedure 110 Montauk. Cameras will monitor every inch of the cell at times and must be manned 24 hours a day. Malfunctioning monitoring equipment will be replaced without delay by psychologically screened staff. Doors will be magnetically locked, open only by positive action by control and monitoring facility. This includes all doors linking the main holding cell to those of the 6 D-class personnel, which means, of course, you know, they're expendable. You're behind the door. Sorry, officer. Yeah, D-class. No, red shirt. SCP-231 is to be kept restrained to a hospital bed at all times, except for the purposes of Procedure 110 Montauk, which is terrifying. Hydration will be provided through IV drip. Feeding will be carried out twice per day through feeding tube approved by medical personnel who have not taken the Hippocratic Oath. Okay. Under no circumstances are the narcotics, anesthesia, or other unapproved medications to be administered. Okay, so we have medical personnel that have not taken the Hippocratic Oath that feed this thing. It gets weirder. Procedure 110 Montauk is to be carried out at least once every 24 hours by Class D personnel. During Procedure 110 Montauk, at least one security clearance staff member must monitor the procedure by camera at all times. Although the sound may be turned off, the vocalizations of SCP-231 become too distressing. Following the procedure, all Class D personnel must return to their holding cells, or explosive collars will be detonated. Data expunged. Information moved. Eyes only document. 231-110 Montauk. Access to 231-110 Montauk is limited to personnel with security clearance. Description. And there's a lot of data expunged here, too. Granny, you are actually a... right now, you are a fellow researcher of the SCP Foundation, researching different SCPs. which are secure, contain, and protect. It is an acronym. And these are different creatures, entities, anomalies, maybe even buildings with certain, let's just say, qualities that aren't necessarily congruent with, I don't know, normal society. So I guess that's how to do it. Anyway, how should I explain it? Description. SCP is a blank female between blank and blank years of age with data expunged. Okay, SCP-231 through 7 were retrieved from blank following a police raid on a warehouse owned by an organization called the Children of the Scarlet King. See article on blank in the blank newspaper. Police raid satanic sex cult slave 7 24 hours after the SCP-231-1, real name blank, went into labor pains, giving birth 3 minutes later to SCP blank, causing a blank result in over blank confirmed casualties. Foundation personnel immediately took possession of SCP-231-2 through SCP-231-7, and based on notebooks recovered from the cult, instituted Procedure 110 Montauk to prevent a future occurrence. So, yeah, that's the description. Amendment, current status of SCP-231 units, which appear to be able to randomly spawn themselves, perhaps. SCP-231 deceased, killed during initial recovering operations while giving birth to SCP blank. See casual report for event 231 Alpha for more details. SCP-231-2, deceased, killed during an attempt to remove fetus of second SCP specimen, resulting in immediate blank event. See casual report for ending 231 Bravo for more details. SCP-231-3, deceased, self-terminating following a prolonged period of distress caused by implementation of Procedure 110 Montauk. SCP blank immediately underwent a blank event. See casual report for event 231 Charlie. This thing is like, it seems like it can spawn itself and it just randomly kills lots of people. That's what I'm getting from this addendum here. Lots and lots and lots of people. Okay. Let's see, SCP-231-4, deceased, attempted to administer SCP-500. Okay, you try to administer SCP-500. We need to figure out what you tried to administer. Is a small plastic can, at the time of writing, 47 red pills, occurs subject of all diseases within 2 hours. Oh, okay. So they tried to administer something that cures all diseases within 2 hours. Although successful in that all traces of SCP blank were expelled from the system, expelled remains immediately underwent a blank event, causing numerous casualties. Oh dear. Including SCP-231-4 herself. See casualty report event. Yikes. Okay. SCP-231-5, deceased. Botched application of Procedure 110 Montauk. Resulted in SCP-231-5 giving birth to SCP blank 1 hour later, which then underwent a blank event. See casualty report. There's always casualty reports after they go through an event. So, you know, there's a lot of red shirts. Wow. Okay. SCP-231-6, deceased, killed during escape attempt, aided and abetted by Agent Blank, who had been exhibited heightened stress levels due to prolonged exposure to SCP-231. obtained possession of SCP redacted and attempted to use said weapon to rescue SCP-231-6, SCP-231-7. Agent Blank was killed in the resulting firefight, but a stray round resulted in the termination of SCP-231-6 as well. Fetus of SCP-231-6, SCP Blank, then underwent a blank event. And when that happens, you know, more red shirts get creamed. In the wake of this incident, 05 level personnel voted by unanimous decision to amend personnel policies. See casualty report. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. Wow. Okay. Amendment. Text by missive by 05 blank. This is one of the leaders of the Foundation. Okay. Dear friends, it has come to my attention that recently certain rumors have surfaced regarding SCP-231 due to the drop in staff morale. Yeah, because they're all dying. I have decided to address some of the more prevalent points. Yes, Procedure 110 Montauk is as horrible as you have heard, which is why only Class D personnel are authorized to carry it out, because they're expendable. Yes, it does involve brutal retracted. No assignment to SCP-231 is not intended to test your loyalty to the Foundation, your tendencies towards blank, or anything else. No, SCP-231 is not punishment detail. Yes, there are staff members who have been on SCP-231 and have successfully transferred out by their own request. No, not everyone who's worked on SCP-231 is terminated upon leaving the project. Yes, staff members who have been assigned to SCP-231 are allowed to take a Class A amnesiac before leaving the project if so desired. Yes, false memories are then implanted. No, none of these supposed methods for recovering or detecting false memories work. Yes, there are some if you've worked on SCP-231 and don't remember it. Staff morale is down, Captain. Advise. Well, you know, Procedure 110 Montauk is basically, how should I put this? I'll let you look it up. One final note, the Foundation does many distasteful things in the completion of our mission, but our mission is important enough that the price is one we must pay. Containment of SCP-231 is one of our most dangerous duties, not because of any direct danger to ourselves, like SCP-682, but because of the danger that our resolve will fail, that we will allow ourselves to either let our guard down due to sympathy or for suffering of an innocent, or we allow ourselves to become monsters through the performance of monstrous acts. Just do your jobs and save the philosophizing for the shrink. Yikes. Okay. 231-07's emotional response to Procedure 110 Montauk appears to be reduced recently, despite proper execution. This is a bunch of amendments. My brain is starting to turn into mush, so I'm not going to read all that. But you get the idea. Basically, this is a creature that seems to self-perpetuate itself and has a propensity for killing others. And it, let me see. It's something like that. So there is SCP-231 the Bride of Satan? We shall never know. I'm going to leave this here for tonight because my I've been talking a lot. My throat is dry and the Mountain Dew just isn't helping. So it's been fun. I appreciate those who have decided to explore these SCP Foundation files with me. I am a noob in this vast land of SCPs and all these creatures, and all this stuff is absolutely fascinating, and I've enjoyed looking at it. And again, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and let this go now. And hope all of you have a lovely evening. I'll see you on the flip side. And gosh, that was some weird stuff we looked at today. That was seriously weird. All right. Well, I'm out. Thanks again, fellers.